Welcome to the Wandering Stitches Knitting Podcast. This is where I combine my love of hiking and knitting. In this episode, I'm going to take you up to the western part of the state where we hike up Bald and Speckled Mountain, and then we head up to the Moosehead Lake area where we visit the Gulf Hagas, Maine's Grand Canyon. I brought my knitting, of course, so why don't you grab your crafty project, sit back, relax while I chat with you about my wandering stitches. Thank you for stopping by and spending your time with me. Hello! Welcome to the Wandering Stitches Knitting Podcast. My name is Jess, and I thank you for stopping by and checking out my YouTube channel. If you're returning, I really appreciate you coming by and spending your time with me. And I thank you for the subscribes and the comments and the likes. I really look forward to reading the comments and replying. If you are new to this channel and you're here checking me out, I hope you stick around and enjoy the content. And in the background, you'll see Josie. She's taking a nap, but she may perk up a little bit and say hello. So I am going to mostly talk about, in episode 7, I'm going to talk about more wandering and not so much my knitting, because there really hasn't been a lot. So we've been trying to get out as much as we can now that it has stopped raining and it is gorgeous. The temperatures are wonderful to hike in and to just be out in, and the colors of the fall are really starting to pop, and it's just really nice being outside. So I have been working a little bit on my previously project, which is my cardigan, the Deep Winter Coat by Woolen Pine. I have been knitting that with Lion Brand Wool Ease. I'm holding the yarn double, so it is a thick and squishy, warm cardigan. So it sits heavy on my lap. So right now I haven't been knitting with that because it's just a little too warm, but I have been working on this project, which is going to be a scarf, and it is right now it's just a triangle. It's going to be a scarf by the Gallus scarf by Amy Palko. It is her debut design. She is over on the Meaningful Stitch, and I just love her podcast. So definitely check her out. She has designed a scarf that isn't boring to knit, and it involves different colors. So you might recognize these if you've seen these before, if you've been here before on my channel. This is the yarn that I dyed with goldenrod, and I mixed this with the iron water to give it a slight green color. And then this is the cochineal that I had used when I had my dye class with Marty from A Wrinkle in Time. So it's going to be my natural dyed scarf. So for right now, it is my travel hiking project because it's so small and compactable. And it is also my social knitting, my TV knitting, because the pattern is wonderfully easy to memorize, and it's just super easy to go through. It's a series of short rows, and that is what creates the shaping for it. Excuse me, my cat is scratching at the door. So I am gonna work on that while I am out and about and whatnot, but while I'm at home, and in the morning, my morning knits are with the Deep Winter Coat, which is like, I think I left it at work actually. Because I like to knit on my breaks as well. So I think I left it at work, which I'm kind of sad about. But anyways, that's a whole different other subject. So my husband and I, we love to hike, and that is our time to bond and whatever. So we had some time off this week. So we just did some spontaneous hikes. One of them was to my favorite place, Little Concord State Park, and that is 64 acres of undeveloped land. And so there is, as you can imagine, a pond there, and there are no cabins, no boats. The only thing that is there is there are little canoes that are available, which I haven't yet explored or used, but you can swim there. Which they have a rock that you can jump off of, and it is beautiful. Yep, my cat's trying to get in. Cookie. So Little Concord State Park is a pond where you can go swimming. They have canoes available if that is what you would like to do. It's a pretty small pond, but it is deep and it is wonderful to swim in. The water is beautifully clear, and there's a nice rock that you can jump off of, and it's lovely. It's untouched, pristine. I feel like I've gone back in time before the development of man. So yeah, it just is like a little tiny Garden of Eden, I guess, if you would. But then you can explore. They have some hiking trails that you can go up Bald Mountain. There is an area called Shag Crag, which, I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that right, but mountain climbers or rock climbers like to go there, and there's cliffs that they can scale and whatnot. But the Bald Mountain has a overlook that it gives you a view of. Here's my cat. Cookie, come here. Don't harass me. Come on up. Excuse me. Shag Pond. Overlook Shag Pond. And there's also some wind turbines that you can see. It's just a nice little view. But if you go further up and you extend your hike about a mile up to Speckled Mtn, that is where you'll get the beautiful vistas. And it's not like a 360 view. I would say it's probably 300. You definitely get a very open, treeless summit up there, and it's considered hard on AllTrails. So the Bald Mountain has a loop that you can do. So you go up, you do a loop at the top, and then you can work your way down, or you can work your way up to Speckled Mtn, like I said. So you go down and then you go up. And let's see, the Bald Mountain is probably got a height of just under 1,700 feet, and then Speckled Mtn is just 2,200 feet. And like I said, it's beautiful. So the day that we went, I believe it was, let's see, the sky was not very clear. The Canadian wildfires, the smoke was coming down. So the foliage colors are rather muted, and it just looks sort of overcast, but it was still beautiful. The mountains looked kind of misty, I guess. But yeah, I think it was the smoke. And we had the next day off, so we decided to spontaneously go up to Greenville, because up in Greenville is Lakeside Stitches, and Lakeside Stitches is one of the most remote stops on the main yarn cruise, and it is, I think, one of those stops that I had left for last. I wasn't sure if I was going to make it, but I just said, hey, let's go up to the Gulf Hagas and hike up there. I hear it's beautiful. We've never been up there, and he was game. So we totally last minute, I was able to get a room at the Leisure Life Resort, and it was relatively priced for such a spontaneous trip, and it really wasn't bad. The room was what it needed to be. It was a bed, and it also had like a full kitchen, which I thought was interesting. So I would definitely go back if we decide to go back up there and complete the whole trail system. So yeah, the Leisure Life Resort was easy to get to. We did the Gulf Hagas, and that was about an hour away from Greenville down a dirt road. You have to go in, and the access point into Gulf Hagas, there is a check-in point, and you do have to pay $12 per person if you're a Maine resident, and it's cash only. So I say that if you, in the event that you decide that you want to go to Gulf Hagas, now you know, because I didn't know, and it just so happened that I only had $21 in my wallet, cash, and there's no ATM there because there's literally no service. So yeah, know that before you go. And then he was very helpful with providing a map and providing alternate routes. So there's two different ways that you can access the trail system. One access is with a bridge, so you don't have to go through the river, but the other by the screw auger will... There's descriptions in AllTrails that will say that people had to cross the river that was up to their knees, and then they had wet feet for the rest of the hike. But I opted to not have wet feet and was able to get through the hike with no issues. The Gulf Hagas is considered Maine's Grand Canyon. There is a series of waterfalls and lots of flowing water. It was beautiful, especially with all this rain that we've gotten, and I'll show you footage of the waterfalls. Gulf Hagas, it's like I said, the Grand Canyon of Maine. It is a 400-foot descent over the course of 4 miles, and like I said, in a series of waterfalls. The trail system around this is doable. I believe it's a total of 9 miles, including getting to the parking lot. And there are cutoffs that you can take to make it shorter. So you can do, I would say, a 3-mile loop. Excuse me. You can do a 3-mile loop, which is what we did because we were just under sort of a time limitation. And we went down the Rim Trail, which brings you along the waterfalls, and then you can take the cut over to the Appalachian Trail, actually, which is nice. And then you can go back with the Pleasant River Tote Road, which is an easy trail. The Rim Trail is, sorry, that would be my cat bumping the, this is Azzy. Rim Trail goes along the river, and so that has a series, you're scrambling over rocks, roots, that kind of stuff. But the Tote Road, which looked like probably the logging road, is relatively easy. Not easy enough where you could knit and walk. Unless you are an expert, you could definitely knit and walk. But as a beginner, I wouldn't recommend doing that because I did consider it. But that was an easy way back to the parking lot, and it was gorgeous. I highly recommend, and I do want to bring the whole family to do some more hikes up there. The stop that we had done for the yarn cruise was a quick stop, and I will show you what I got. And this is what she had for main yarn. I just walked in. Let's see if you can see it. Probably not. Sorry. It's this beautiful green. There you go. It's this beautiful green. And the colorway is Zodiac Fernwood. And again, I don't think I mentioned it, but this is by the Seven Sisters Arts. And they are supplied, I believe, in a bunch of shops throughout Maine. But I think this is the first place that I saw worsted. So then she pulled out this skein, which I will not use for my night shift shawl, but I just had to bring it home with me because it's beautiful. So we'll see what I do with this. Worsted weight, and this is merino and cashmere with nylon. So so yeah, stay tuned to see what I do with this. I am going to cut over to the video photo montage of our hiking trip, and I hope you enjoy your week, and I hope that you enjoy what you see. And like I said, leave any questions in the comments, and remember to like and subscribe. I appreciate that, and continue doing what you love. Bye. Here we are in Woodstock, Little Concord State Park. So happy together, going on a hike. And here, come with me. You can hike with me vicariously. I'll take you right up to the peak of Bald Mountain. I got my little Hobbit walking stick. Definitely feel like Bilbo Baggins with that thing, helping me climb the mountains. So here we are at the top. Come check out this jar of intentions that people leave their wishes or whatever they want to make happen. I like the label. I wrote something the first time I was up here. And come check out these leaves. It's a little bit of fall that's coming. And we will stop, take a little peek of the view. There's Shag Pond, and we'll have a snack on the best granola in the whole world. And here we have a hickory tussock moth caterpillar, who apparently is not really great to pick up because his little hairs can leave a nice rash. So just look with your eyes. So here we are at the summit of Speckled Mountain. I hope you brought your knitting, and we have a nice lunch here. It's a beautiful spot for a picnic and a nice knit. It's the line where it turns from evergreen to deciduous. Tree MZ!